under financial concepts. Last class we have seen money markets. Now we will see foreign exchange market. First of all, everyone is aware about foreign exchange, means exchange of currency or conversion of one country's currency into another country's currency. So here Paul Anzing has said that foreign exchange, what is it? It is a process or a system by which one country's currency is converted into another country's currency, or it is transferring of money from one country to another country also. So this is the meaning of foreign exchange. Now let us know foreign exchange markets. So foreign exchange market is a place where the foreign exchange transaction takes place, but there is no physical sense of the term, like there is no particular place where the foreign exchange transaction takes place. It takes place at various places, like it includes dealers, bankers and brokers who are involved in this foreign exchange transactions. So buying and selling of foreign exchange, these are the people who are involved. Apart from that, it also includes central bank of every country as well as treasury authorities who are, why they are involved? They will be controlling the market, foreign exchange market. So market as a controlling authority, central bank or treasury authorities will act as a controlling authorities who will control the foreign exchange circulation in the country. Next, those who are engaged in this foreign exchange business, they are controlled by FEM Act, that is Foreign Exchange Maintenance Act. So the rules and regulations of Foreign Exchange Maintenance Act, through these rules the foreign exchange business is regulated or controlled and they have to follow. Now the functions of FEM, like Foreign Exchange Maintenance Act, what are its functions? Three main functions. Make necessary arrangements, to make necessary arrangements for the transfer of purchasing power from one country to another country. Like you are going to America, then you need dollars to buy something. So the purchasing power. So FEM Act has certain functions like to make necessary arrangements for transfer of purchasing power from one country to another country. Next, another function of FEM Act is to provide adequate facilities for the promotion of foreign trade. Foreign trade होना बोले तो adequate facilities must be provided by FEM, Foreign Exchange Maintenance Act, as well as to cover foreign exchange risk, because the rupee value in India is going up and down like that. Every country's currency will be having fluctuations. So to cover the foreign exchange risk by providing hedge facilities, like to hedge transactions, the risk can be minimized. So hedge facilities also should be provided by FEM. So this is about it. And next, the three-tier structure in India works like the trading takes place between banks and commercial customers. Next, trading takes place between banks through authorized brokers, as well as trading takes place with banks abroad. So this is about foreign exchange markets. So under the foreign exchange market, we can conclude like this, that brokers play a very important role in the foreign exchange markets. Apart from these authorized dealers, RBI has also appointed certain licensed hotels and individuals who will be called as authorized money changers. They also play an important role, and FEMA, like Foreign Exchange Maintenance Act, FEMA smoothens the flow of foreign exchange within the country and it prevents the misuse of foreign exchange, which is a already scarce commodity. Now we will go through the financial rate of return. Financial rates of return is also financial concept, one of the financial concepts. Why should you know this? And generally what happens in India is households or Indian families, what they do is generally they will buy physical assets like gold, land, etc. They are interested in physical investment, but they are not so easily ready for financial asset investment. But the search or the study has shown that financial assets always give a better return compared to physical assets. Like if you invest in equities in the capital market like shares, then the return on shares is more compared to return on gold. So that is why it is very important for us to have the basic knowledge of what is the rate of return when you invest in financial assets. Now let us see, the return on government securities is less compared to return on corporate securities. Why? Because the risk involved in government securities is less compared to corporate securities. So lesser the risk, lesser the rate of interest, more the risk, more the rate of interest. Now let us see, in India the government and RBI together regulate the rate of interest in the government securities. So the interest rates are administered and controlled by the government and RBI together. So what happens that the rate of interest in India definitely do not reflect the free trade forces like demand for and supply of securities. Like that, it is not reflecting the true rate of interest due to it is controlled by the government and RBI. And even the rate of interest or rate of return do not reflect the scarcity value of capital in the country. What do you mean by scarcity value of capital? Suppose you are having 1 lakh rupees with you. So this 1 lakh rupees is having demand for project A, project B, project C. That means supply is less and demand is more. So definitely your 1 lakh rupees, you can choose where to invest, in which project which will give you more return. So here what we say, that rate of return doesn't reflect the scarcity value of your capital. That is also not reflected because it is regulated by RBI and government together. So most of these rates are fixed on ad hoc basis. Why? By the RBI and government, depending on the credit policy and the monetary policy of the government. So generally the rate of interest policy designed by the government is such that it satisfies their certain aims, like the borrowing should be cheaper for the government, there should be stability in the macroeconomic structure. Next, if government wants to give some preference to any sector like agricultural sector, then rate of lending should be lower for them, and also to mobilize savings in the economy. If these purposes are satisfied, on this basis the rate of interest policy is designed by the government. Now what is rate of or what is interest? Interest is a reward for the risk taken on the investment, or you can say even it is a reward for abstaining consumption. When you are putting the money into bank as savings, that means that money you don't want to use it for your consumption, so you are sacrificing your consumption, so it is a return for that. So apart from that, we will see for any financial system to work properly, the rate of interest policy should be, the structure of rate of interest should be sound. Means demand and supply transparency should be there, but which is not there so much in India. But still the recent trends that have been taken or the steps taken by RBI are like this. So, for example, company deposits the rate of interest. It is the freedom is given to the companies to decide the rate of interest on company deposits. Next, interest rates on 365 days treasury bills is also going to be decided on auction, demand and supply basis. So that is also one very good step taken. Next, on government loans, the rate of interest has been moved upwards, means higher rate of interest is given on government loans. Next, the debentures issued by the company, the rate of interest to be given by the company to the debenture holders is also decided by the companies only. The freedom is given, and maximum rate of interest on the fixed deposits of above 1 year the banks can themselves decide, so there is no restriction on that. This is how some of the steps taken by the RBI to make the rate of interest marketable or free trade market rate.